A man once said, football is the most important things of the less important things in the world. That man is Carlo Ancelotti. And on Thursday night, for some teams right there in Europe, football was the most important thing of the less important things in the world. Welcome. This is the Arena. Yes, my name is Jidechi Chideze, and as usual on this show, we get to talk about the big stories emanating from the world of sports. Today, we would be talking about the UEFA Europa League games that went down on Thursday night, the important games of the quarterfinal stage of the competition. We'll take a look at that on today's show. And of course, we would not be leaving out the National Sports Festival that is currently ongoing right there in Edo State. One team are making it their birthright right now. We'll get to look at that when the show kicks off in earnest. We'll also be taking a look at some of the games that will be going on this weekend and how the weekend would be looking when Friday is over. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, we would be taking a look at all of this. I have somebody to do this on the show with me today, but I'll be revealing this big fish when we get back from this. Welcome back. This is still Arena right here on iBrandTV. Yes, the Arena. Yeah, here we talk about the big stories emanating from the world of sports, and big stories to discuss today with my man Adekunle Akindore. He's back again, and I mean it's a pleasure having you back in the studio with me, Adekunle.
Yes, it's always a pleasure.
You seem dull. I mean, what's the problem? Your team won yesterday.
Yes, a couple of things, but it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
Yes.
At least the fact that Manchester United won is something that makes it good. Okay, like I said, it's a packed show for today, but we'll start off with the ones that went down on Thursday night. Yes, games went down all across Europe, and we saw how Manchester United were able to cruise to a victory. They have the first leg of that one in the knockout, in the quarterfinal stages. They were able to cruise to a victory over Granada away from home, and they did it in style. 2 goals over their opponents. They were not the only ones in action on Thursday night. As you can see on your screen right now, Arsenal, we are also in action. And for Arsenal, it ended in a draw. 1-1 is the way that one ended. Villarreal were able to come off 1-0 winners in their own game. And of course, the one between AS Roma and Ajax Amsterdam. AS Roma coming out tops in that one. But let's start off with okay, let me say Manchester United, since I know it's one you love us to talk about. Now let's start off with say Arsenal. Talk about the one Arsenal had ended 1-1, and Slavia Praha let it lead to break the hearts of Arsenal fans.
The tie, it's a kind of a dicey one, because you see, you expected an Arsenal team to qualify from the group. I mean, playing though Slavia Prague have been playing like in a very good way, like getting to the quarterfinal. At least I think it's the first time in their history that they are doing that in the Europa League, and you could see the progress and all those things. So you see them. I see this team, I mean, creating an upset like I was expecting actually. But the way they played yesterday, actually played them. It's just that Arsenal were lacking the final touches, like finishing their chances. Like I said, was very lackadaisical yesterday. So it was a little bit of like, it was wasting a lot of chances that I felt like if he has probably buried them, they wouldn't have to leave. I mean, see the drama that happened late before the game ended. But kudos to Slavia Prague, and but I watched I was reading Sky Sport this morning, and I saw the response from the Arsenal coach, that it's not as if they lost focus or they switched off.
But Arsenal fans are not ready to hear that at this point.
But they lost focus, because you lose focus, and that's when you lose focus. That's when you
lose everything.
Exactly. That's when you concede.
Because the moment you lose focus, the result doesn't say if you lost focus or not. The result just shows you not win the game.
This thing, and playing at home, that one goal could have probably played in their favor, but playing a
very tough one for them going to the second leg. Let's quickly talk about the one Nigeria's own Samuel Chukwueze was a part of. That's the game between Dinamo Zagreb and Villarreal. 1-0 Gerard Moreno in the first half of that game, and that was the only goal.
Yes, well, personally, I wanted Villarreal to qualify from the this thing, like, or I expected them to qualify.
I mean, we've also seen Unai Emery get to the finals of the Europa with Arsenal.
Arsenal, and being at Villarreal now, I hopefully is going to. He has won it a couple of times because he was at Sevilla before.
Yes.
Before he came to Arsenal, then went to PSG, couldn't replicate the success for them, then left for Arsenal. Hopefully he's going to bring them the glory, but nevertheless. But because I have to be biased, my team is still there, so hopefully we get to meet them in the final.
Okay, before I talk about your team, who I know you really want us to talk about, let's talk about what we can say was the big game of the night: Ajax Amsterdam and AS Roma. That one ended in favor of the Italian side, and they hold a very, very crucial lead going into the second leg. 2-1, that one ended.
Yes, Ajax team, like I've always told whenever we discuss football, is Ajax plays, they are still a growing team, like developing team. So they play more of the academic players and all those things. And there's one thing about young players. They tend to, consistency is still not there yet. You understand? Because they have fantastic players. Young players, vibrant, and you see the way they were full of energy last night and all those things. But AS Roma with experience, is Dzeko in the team, couple of older players in the team. The experience.
Pellegrini scoring, Ibanez scoring.
Exactly, and you could see the way that played out in the end, in the results. And playing at home, 2 goals advantage over them already. I don't see that type over them.
So AS Roma to progress at this point.
But we all know an Ajax team too. Like they know how to bring surprise to the party.
Okay, at Dekunle, Manchester United 2-0 winners over the opponents, and they did that away from home. Impressive. Yes,
very impressive. But I love the fact that Man U, we are playing with a lot of confidence whenever we play away from home. But the challenge is how to replicate that when we are playing on our own turf. At Old Trafford. It's very disappointing. But you see them playing with this thing. The game could have been more yesterday. The goals rather could have been more than that if Man U, because Man U, the first time Man U were really playing them, and you could see Granada playing more of a defensive football and all those things. And I was expecting, though I understand the fact that Rashford is not fully
but even if he is not fully fit, he was able to get one alongside Bruno Fernandes.
That was a fantastic goal from him. A fantastic pass from Lindelof, and the way he controlled the ball, and that was a touch of class. And one thing I've just loved about Rashford is that he's growing over the years. I wish I could say that with Martial. And it's so sad because these are the players that we look forward to see after Romelu Lukaku left the team. Like Soja was able to okay, I want to trust these players, play more and all those things. So the goals came, and I'm happy. At least we have a 2 goals advantage over
heading into the second leg.
To our home.
Okay, let's take this quick one. When we get back from it, we will continue with other sporting stories right here on the show.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Back to sporting stories we are talking about on today's show. Adekule, let's move on from the UEFA Europa League and talk about the National Sports Festival. 4-5 games of activities so far, and we are seeing the medals table already getting away from other states. One state always, they like to make it seem like it's their birthright. Delta State.
Delta is they are full of. I wouldn't say, because that's where Austin. I think they are more of the sportsman states than other places. Lagos has to, usually is this I mean, when you talk about sport and all these things, like all kind of sport in Lagos, you see football. Almost every place in Lagos, you see them playing football and others. I mean, other sport, like you see, you go to the National Stadium, you see, what's it called, basketball and all that kind of sport. But I don't know what's happening with Lagos. But Delta State has been, over the years, they've been proving that too, and it shows.
Lagos are not doing so badly per se as at the medal table we have as at last night. The one you can see on your screen right now. Lagos are currently number 7 on the table. That's after Delta, Bayelsa, Edo, Rivers, Imo, Kano, and then you have Lagos. That's the medal table as at 8:51 p.m. from last night. Yes, Lagos have about, not Lagos rather, Delta has about 32 gold medals so far, and a total of 72 medals gotten across competitions. Bayelsa, who are coming in second, have 20 golds and 8 silvers and 15 bronze medals. Edo has 18 gold, 24 silvers and 21 bronze medals. And then Rivers State has 8 golds, 6 silvers and 12 bronze medals so far. Then Imo State, who are 5th, and I must say I am proud of at this point, have 4 gold medals, 2 silvers and 2 bronze. That's as at last night. And then Lagos, who we are talking about, have just 2 gold, 7 silvers and 9 bronze medals, and a total of 18. I mean, it's impressive compared to other states who have not been able to get so much.
But nevertheless, a state that we can boast of, I mean, the fact that our slogan is a center of excellence.
Sector of excellence.
And we've been, over the years, Lagos has really gone down, I mean, in terms of this. But kudos to, it shows the progress that Delta State government have put into places all this while, like, because every year they keep, whenever the National Sports Festival is always, I mean, happening, you see them always topping the chart, like, and you can imagine a 8-month pregnant woman even won a gold medal for them, and which shows that the sport, I mean, the state government, the sport minister or sport commissioner in the state has actually been working. And you could compare that in terms of the result that they are getting. And hopefully at the end of this thing, which I feel they've won this thing, I mean,
already. You actually think we still have till 14th of the month actually. Well, you think it's too early, we can call it a wrap at this point?
I think so, because I don't see a Delta team, I mean,
dropping and leaving other medals for other states. No, let's talk. What's your state? I think I'll have to do this at this point. What's your state? Let's look at where they are placed where they are ranked on the table right now. On those states, okay.
But I'm in Lagosian because I was.
Oh, this is interesting. Well, if you're wondering where Edo State is on the table right now, on those states, if you're wondering what their position is on the table right now, as at 8:51 last night, they have just 4 bronze medals. That's all they have for now. No gold, no silver. Well, there's still a long way to go. I mean, they could get anything at this point.
Well, I don't even care if they probably get, but never, like I said, as long as Lagos is doing well,
you're happy and you're happy. Okay, talking about doing well, another state are hoping they can do better than Edo State, who are the hosts of this one right now, and that is Kaduna. They are saying they really want to host the next National Sports Festival. They're already bidding for that one.
It's a good thing that at least they feel like they are ready, but in terms of everything happening in the country right now, would it be
security-wise?
Security-wise and all those things, because you could see Kaduna and Kano being almost the center of almost the bad things happening lately in Nigeria, and we have 2 years between it. I mean, between now and 2023, 2022 to, so hopefully by then, if security has improved in Nigeria,
things could get better and they could actually do well.
Because Kaduna is actually a beautiful state. I mean, you see them, and you see the pictures. Sometimes I've been there once, and it's so captured, like the tourism center and all those things. You have a lot of things to like look forward to, not just in sport wise and all those things. Like the beauty of National Sports Festival is to even showcase the tourism centers that you have in your state and all those things. So when Kaduna is, like I said, apart from the fact that the security situations in Nigeria it's just the worries.
Okay, I just want you to hold it. Let's go on a quick break. When we get back, we'll be talking about the good parts of the National Sports Festival. When we get back from this break, we'll talk about the bad parts of it. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Arena, yes, and I've been talking with Adekunle Akindure, a sports analyst and a football expert. Adekunle, we've been talking about the National Sports Festival, the good parts of it. Now let's talk about some sort of controversy that happened, say yesterday. We were hearing that the National Sports Festival could come to an abrupt end due to lack of funds, that the federal government didn't give the state government some funds to add to what they had for the National Sports Festival, and because of that.
Yes, the truth is that I'm always very skeptical when I have to talk about sports. I mean, politics in sports, but the truth is still that there is politics in everything, even in our lives, everywhere we go, churches, football, sports in general, and understand. But the fact that we all know that this is the national pride, like this is the only thing Nigeria has to bring together the whole state. It's more like we are creating, because this whole issue of people wants to break apart. I mean, the country is about to break apart and all those things. In the spirit of sportsmanship, we can bring everything together. Like
the president even said it at the opening ceremony that it's a unifying factor.
But now the federal government are not even committed to it, as per the results we are hearing. So it just.
But that brings to mind. Should it be the workload of the federal government or the host states?
I don't think because federal government, in the way Nigeria is being set up, controls everything. Now, because it's your state, you have some things that you put into place, like making available of the stadium, the turfs, and all those things, and the accommodation of making sure security is being. But everything still comes from the federal government, like in terms of fund, because we have Minister of Sport. And there are definitely going to be budget for every district. And going into the year, there is budget for sports.
The sports festival.
Exactly. So why would they now be saying there's no fund from them? And if the state government says it's going to end, then the state government can.
Well, the good news is, as at this morning we were hearing it's not going to be called to an abrupt end. That hopefully progress with it.
But the challenging factor is just the fact that we tend to hear different these things, like state
we should not be hearing this type of things.
Exactly. These are the ugly parts of these things. Like we are talking about the fact that the ways a sport can unify the country during this period and all those things. And federal government is still not playing their part and all those things. It brings questions like, are we supposed to, at this age and time, are we supposed to be having this kind of conversation? Like in the middle of, it's not even middle yet.
It's still the beginning.
It's the beginning. They are saying that they are out of funds already. And I'm very sure after the whole sport festival, stories that we'll be hearing is athletes not being paid. We've
heard it before, and it's a pathetic story to hear.
And before you will know now, everything. Before it's a
sad one. I mean, at this point, it's not like we want to even hear the fact that Kaduna is saying they want to host. It's not like we want to hear this type of thing at the next National Sports Festival.
Hopefully, but I just think that hopefully things will improve. We can only hope that things will improve by then. But the country is just the federal government to the state government. I don't think, maybe because of the fact that like I said, I'm avoiding politics or something, but because of the ruling party and all those things. So hopefully they come to an agreement and we can see the end of this thing. And it doesn't happen in Kaduna.
That's if they actually get the hosting right. Well, he said hopefully at this point we can only hope and pray. Well, isn't it what we always do right here in Nigeria? Let's take this quick one. It's Prediction Friday, and remember, the rule stays the same. If you must place a bet on any game, ensure you have to do so responsibly. And the other rule is that you have to only stake what you can afford to lose. Now let's move on from what we've been talking about and talk about the games that are expected to go down this weekend, starting off with the Nigeria Professional Football League. Well, the league is actually on break as it stands, but when it would be returning, we would be seeing games and teams back in action. We're expected to be on 2 weeks mid-season break, and then when we get back from it, the league continues.
It's a good thing. At least it's not as in the Premiership that there is no break. I mean, some other leagues, and hopefully when we get to see them back, and I'm hoping that Yimba gets to play their games at hand, and we see them climbing the table.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Yimba have lots and lots of games in hand. We've always had this issue in the league whereby the league management now begins to struggle with how to fix games that have been outstanding.
That's basically because there is still a lot to be done in terms of structuring the whole league and all those things. Because fixtures and all those things, the reason why I respect the English Premier League and European leagues are because they have this structure that's okay. They have it in view. Oh, this team is playing in the continental. This thing like okay,
and they already planned for it.
They have planned everything. There is international break and all this, but I think we still lack that in the Nigerian Professional League and all those things. Like I said, we
can only hope. Okay, let's go to the one where all we can hope for now is for the weekend games to come forward. Talk about the English Premier League. But before we go into the fixtures, I mean, there was a beautiful news that came out this morning, and that's about came out late yesterday, and that's about Nigeria's very own Kelechi Iheanacho, current player of the month in the English Premier League, and right now he won the goal of the month for Leicester City. I mean, impressive month for him, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I'm happy for him. Like I said, but the truth of the matter is that it's just the level of consistency that I really love to emphasize on when it comes to African players. We see a Sadio Mane, a Salah being consistent for a while, but this season they can't replicate
the same thing,
and he's having a good season. I mean, Iheanacho is having a good season, to be honest, and hopefully he finishes on strong, and then next season we still get to see. Then we can now be considering that okay, this guy too, maybe he might bring the glory of winning the African Footballer of the Year for Nigeria and all those things. But the challenging part is just the fact that
maintaining that consistency. Okay, quickly let me run you through the fixtures for this weekend. Yeah, start off with the one that is going down later this evening, Friday night. We would see Fulham and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yes, Fulham trying to escape relegation, and they have a tough match against Wolves later tonight at the Craven Cottage. Manchester City and Leeds United would be going down on Saturday afternoon. That's the first game of Saturday, and then later on Saturday we would have Liverpool and Aston Villa. Crystal Palace and Chelsea. Chelsea would be hoping they get back to winning ways. They lost their game last week. A shock 5-2 defeat against West Bromwich Albion, and the first for Thomas Tuchel under his belt. Why as the head of Chelsea Football Club? Well, this time around they would be hoping they redeem their wins against Crystal Palace, and later the ones that will be going on Sunday would be between Burnley and Newcastle United, West Ham and Leicester City, which we would be hoping to see Kelechi Iheanacho play a part once again, and of course Wilfred Ndidi in that one too. The big game of the weekend, Jose Mourinho would be welcoming Manchester United to Sports Stadium, and that's the big one we would be having our eyes on, looking at how it would likely be panning out for Mourinho, whose side threw away a lead last time and ended their game in a draw. Sheffield United, who are last on the table right now, will be welcoming Arsenal. Hopefully, we get to see Arsenal win that one, or possibly Sheffield United win that one. And then later on Monday would be West Bromwich Albion and Southampton and Brighton and then Everton. Now let's move over to the German Bundesliga, where Borussia, Bayern Munich are actually top of the table. They lost their Champions League game this week, and they lost that one to PSG. But this time around, they turn their attention back to the Bundesliga before they go back to the Champions League, and they're expected to be playing Union Berlin. Their rivals, Borussia Dortmund, who are some points away from them, will be taking on Stuttgart. Those are the big sides right there in Germany. Let's talk about Bayern Munich right now for a moment without Robert Lewandowski. It seemed like they struggled in the Champions League, and this time around, they'll be going back to the league to play.
Yes, Bayern Munich are playing fantastic football, and it's obvious. But it was a shock defeat that they suffered against PSG, even right there at home. But hopefully they can get back to winning ways
this weekend.
Union Berlin, I don't really think they pose that of a threat, but miracles do happen.
Okay, miracles do happen. Talk about Inter Milan in the Seria A. They are top of the league right now. They will be taking on Cagliari. And Juve, who have not been doing so well, so far so good, they will be welcoming Genoa. AC Milan traveling down to Parma. Napoli traveling down to Sampdoria. Those are the big sides. AS Roma welcoming Bologna. Those are the big sides in the Serie A. But the one that we really want to talk about at this point is the La Liga. I mean, it's getting hotter and hotter, wouldn't you say? Barcelona just 1 point away from Atletico Madrid. And this weekend, they are taking on Real Madrid.
There's not even open, but I believe the way Madrid is playing and the way the two of them are actually on form, in form presently. But I want to see Real Madrid win that, and so that the race for the champion of La Liga to be more dramatic, being that we are almost in the final games of the season. Let's see.
Atletico Madrid themselves, they are taking on Real Betis. Do you see them winning that one, considering the fact they've even been throwing away points?
It's surprising, from 14-point lead down to just 1 point, and it's hopefully we don't get to see a repeat and see Real Madrid overtake them or a Barcelona team, because at the time that they had the 14-point lead, I already zeroed my mind that
they had won the league. But obviously it's not over until it's over. Well, one thing is sure that it's over. It is this show, because we are already out of time. But I mean, it's been a wonderful time on the show today. All we can do at this point is just sit back and see how the games this weekend pan out. Hopefully we also get to do this some other time. I mean, it's been fun having you around once.
Anytime you want.
Okay, yes, like I said, one thing is for sure, the fact that this show is definitely going to come to an end. Yes, we have to call it a wrap here, but we'll be back next week, definitely, because he that fights and runs away lives to fight another day. Until next time I come your way, ensure you stay safe. My name is Jideichi Chideze. Ensure you have a pleasant weekend.